This week in the AFL saw some quarterbacks play on the periphery of injury while others had to be replaced. Houston's Pete Beathard, recovering from appendicitis, led his team over Denver, who lost Steve Tinsey again with a collarbone injury. Buffalo's nightmare quarterback situation is now being filled by Sam Russell, their sixth of the season, who until last week was dodging a pass rush led by two skinny corporals and a mess sergeant. And John Stofa, subbing for the injured Sam Weich, led the Bengals to a wild finish against the Dolphins. The game between the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals looked like it had been planned by the ancient football genius who split a football contest into 4 quarters. No matter how hard they tried, neither team could dominate more than 1 quarter at a time. In the first quarter, it was all Miami as Bob Greasy and his fullback Stan Mitchell tailored a 52-yard play into the first score of the game. Miami led 7-0. During the first quarter, Cincinnati's offense could not get untracked. The league's leading rusher, rookie sensation number 18, Paul Robinson, got nowhere. But in the second quarter, the teams reversed roles. Bengals quarterback Sam Weich had tight end Bob Trumpy. The big rookie from Utah turned the short pass into an 80-yard scoring play. This tied the score at 7-all. The Bengals were not through with the second quarter yet as number 18, Paul Robinson, added 54 more yards to his total rushing statistic. The Bengals had the lead at halftime, 17-7. Again, the team switched roles in the third quarter. Miami's Bob Greasy, who had spent most of the second quarter on his back, now had the time to be on target. Greasy protected his passing game with a running attack led by number 35, Stan Mitchell. Subbing for the injured Larry Zonka, Mitchell took the Dolphins into scoring range. Greasy completed the 82-yard drive with his short flip to number 89, Carl Noonan. Noonan's touchdown brought Miami within 3 points at 17-14. Cincinnati in the third quarter was like Cincinnati in the first quarter, in trouble. Number 40, Ron Lamb, looked like he was going to change everything until he fumbled. Of course, Miami recovered since the mystical style of the game made the third quarter all Miami. The Dolphins won the third quarter and pulled ahead 21-17 on this Greasy to Stan Mitchell pass. But the fourth quarter was coming, and it was to be all Cincinnati's. Number 15, John Stofa, came in after Weich broke his ankle. Warren McVay took Stofa's screen pass 42 yards, and the Bengals again had the lead. Cincinnati got the ball right back with the same results. Paul Robinson scored his second touchdown of the day, his 4th straight 100-yard outing. The Bengals now had a commanding 10-point lead, 31-21, and a solid candidate for Rookie of the Year. Miami's offense was completely stymied in the fourth quarter. Number 31, Fletcher Smith, intercepted this pass and stopped Miami's deepest penetration in the fourth period. Miami was through, but not Cincinnati. Robinson scored his 3rd touchdown of the day and neatly ended a game that had been a little too neat. In terms of individual quarters, both teams had won 2. The only difference, the Bengals won them bigger. why anyone in their right mind would want to play football in weather like this is beyond the bounds of reason, but the schedule said the San Diego Chargers versus the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. So there they were. Number 22, Max Anderson, got such a face full of mud that he couldn't see and had to leave the game and wipe off. The cold and mud bogged down Buffalo, but San Diego's John Hadel kept the ball in the air and the Chargers were able to move easily in the first quarter. It was on a short pass to number 38, Jack McKinnon, that San Diego scored the first points of the game. The Chargers had an early 7-0 lead. You can only throw so long against Buffalo's pass defense before getting burned. Number 48, John Pitts, picked off Hadel's pass, and the Bills had great field position. But that's all they had, because the Chargers held them and Buffalo had to settle for a 17-yard field goal by Bruce Alford. The 7-3 margin was the closest Buffalo got all day. Early in the second quarter, the Chargers went out of reach with this 62-yard Hadel to McKinnon combination. San Diego now led 14-3. The footing was so bad, Buffalo tried a shotgun formation. It didn't help. Number 33, Kenny Graham, intercepted for the Chargers and set up their last score of the game. Dick Post somehow managed to score. Buffalo scored once more on a field goal, but the rest of the game for both teams was strictly a mud bath. Unfortunately for Buffalo, they also took another kind of bath on the scoreboard. Pete Beathard made his first start since an emergency appendectomy 7 weeks ago, and it looked like the rest made him a better quarterback. Behind accurate passing and power running, he led his team to a 38-17 victory over the Denver Broncos. Beathard scored himself early in the game with a great fake and an 8-yard rollout to the left. He made it 14-0 in the second quarter with a pinpoint 19-yard strike to rookie Mac Height. Houston continued to dominate. On this play, Woody Campbell refused to be stopped. It was power running like this that set up Wayne Walker's 18-yard field goal, which made it 17-0. Denver got on track late in the half as Steve Titsey connected with Al Denson for 40 yards. Then Mike Hafner pulled the biggest surprise of the day with a fake field goal attempt. This play set up a real field goal, a 12-yarder by Bob Halfield, which made it 17-3 at the half. An inspired Denver team shocked the Oilers early in the second half. with Floyd Little's 67-yard run back of a Jim Norton punt. This put the Broncos within 7 points, and suddenly it was a close contest. But Beathard snuffed out Denver hopes with his second touchdown run of the day. This made it 24-10 Houston. Marlon Briscoe replaced Steve Tinsey, who was injured earlier, and put the Broncos right back in the ballgame. After a great scramble, he hit Eric Crabtree with a 28-yard toss. Then he found Al Denson with a 17-yard fling that made it 24-17. But Beathard again rallied his team. He loosened up the Denver defense with short passes like this one to Woody Campbell. Then he hooked up with Mac Hike for a 50-yard score. This was Hike's second touchdown of the day, and it put the game out of reach. Larry Carwell put a little icing on the cake with a great interception and a 40-yard return. The final score was 38-17, and the Oilers left the Astrodome feeling a lot happier than they did last week when they left New York. An atmosphere mindful of the Old West, complete with drums beating wildly and stampeding horses, put the Kansas City Chiefs in a gay, festive mood. Like for a lynching. The Patriots responded to all of this with a little necktie party of their own. Leading 3 scalps to none, the Patriots attempted a field goal that was partially blocked. Jim Kearney, number 46, then fumbled it, and Boston recovered on the Kansas City 1. From there, Tom Sherman threw a pass to R.C. Gamble, and Boston led 10-0. Not for long, however, as Lynn Dawson speared Frank Pitts, number 25. The play covered 90 yards for a touchdown, and a turn at ring around the goalpost. Moments later, Goldie Sellers fielded a punt on his 24, made one move, and charged 76 yards for 6 points. Boston never regained the lead, but rookie quarterback Tom Sherman, number 14, put on his own sideshow. Passing for 184 yards and 2 touchdowns, he seems to be improving rapidly, and Boston certainly needs some of that medicine. Too often, though, he was sacrificed at the Chiefs' pillar of defense. Lynn Dawson, number 16, completed 17 passes for 312 yards and 3 touchdowns. This one to Gloucester Richardson covered 78 yards. The Patriots stiffened late in the third quarter and rallied to within 7 points on a pass from Sherman to Aaron Marsh, who grew 6 inches to catch it. But when the moon was full, the Chiefs buried the Patriots alive with a 43-yard touchdown pass from Dawson to Mike Garrett. And the Chiefs had successfully run the gauntlet 31-17. For 58 minutes and 55 seconds, Oakland and New York slugged it out toe-to-toe until the Jets gained a 32-29 lead on Jim Turner's field goal. And not even the Shirley Temple Film Festival will prevent us from showing you what happened up to and even after that. Well, here they are. From New York City, Joe Namath. And from Oakland, California, Darryl LaMonica. Both these quarterbacks performed as champions in perhaps the finest and roughest game of the year. LaMonica's strategy was basic. Control the ball with deliberate short passes to his backs and ends. Billy Cannon demonstrated this theory perfectly early in the game. Joe Namath wanted to run his club in the early going, but found all avenues blocked. So he had to do what he does best, throw the long bombs. This one was incomplete, but it foretold of things to come. With seconds remaining in the first half, Namath threw to George Sauer, but pass interference was ruled one of 19 penalties called today. After the penalty break, Namath fooled everyone by running himself for the touchdown. The halftime score was New York 12, Oakland 14. The Raiders lost the ball, and now the Jets could take the lead. Rookie defensive back George Atkinson was having his troubles with the Jets' fine receivers, and Namath knew it. So he and Don Maynard picked on him until they scored the go-ahead touchdown in the fourth quarter. Oakland was now behind, and they just could not afford to be behind this late in the game or this late in the season. Fred Biletnikoff led a march that culminated in a game-tying touchdown. Through 4 quarters, the teams had battled, And now it was all even, 29-29. With less than 4 minutes remaining, it was a whole new ball game. But Namath and Maynard still worked on Atkinson, but more importantly, they were working on the clock. The Jets used up 3 minutes of time before Jim Turner set up for a field goal. The Jets led again, 32-29, with 1 minute and 5 seconds remaining. What transpired from here was unfortunately not shown to the nation's television audience. After returning the kickoff 22 yards, Charlie Smith, number 23, sped 20 yards closer. A costly face mask penalty moved the ball to New York's 43-yard line. Oakland's next play was to be their biggest of the year. With 42 seconds left, Charlie Smith put Oakland ahead, and in a replay we can see how he did it. Mike D'Amato was forced to cover Smith, and it was no match. Oakland's own Charlie Smith had given the Raiders a 4-point lead, and now the Jets had a chance to come back. Veteran Earl Christie lost the ball, and Preston Reidelhuber, number 37, recovered in the end zone for another Raider touchdown. Preston expressed the joy of all Oakland fans. In an astounding game, it was finally New York 32, Oakland 43.
Monica to Charlie Smith. Smith is hitting, and he scores! What a game! This crowd has gone absolutely berserk. Twice the Raiders have looked beaten, and rookie Charlie Smith, who's put on quite a show, has just grabbed this one. And now Oakland has the lead 35-32 with 42 seconds. But the Jets still have Namath coming back. That makes it 36-32. But now the Jets receive. The last two times the Jets have had the ball, they've marched right down for scores on Namath's passing. Namath 17 for 35 today, 342 yards. LaMonica is 20 for 32 and 251 yards. They squib this one to prevent a run back. Earl Christie fumbling it around. He fumbles the ball, and Oakland has it for a touchdown. Oakland has scored 2 touchdowns in 9 seconds. Oakland now is kicking off after the penalty on the extra point. They're kicking off from the New York Jet 45. It just might be that Ishid will kick this ball over the goal line. He might boot it into the seat. And he does. It bounces out again. The Jets will never lose a more heart-breaking game than this. They had this one right in their hands with 1:05 to go. They kept coming back and coming back. They scored with 3 seconds to go at the end of the half. They were behind, took the lead. Oakland went ahead. The Jets came back again to take the lead. Bay Perilli's the quarterback now. Boozer fumbles the ball. Ben Davidson has him, and Davidson bulldogs him down. Ben Davidson, number 83. This one's about all over, 15 seconds. We'll have a quick sign-off here. We hope you enjoyed the game. We'll be in San Diego next Sunday, 4 o'clock Eastern Time, with the Jets against San Diego. This is Kurt Gowdy, and a great job today by L.D. Rogatis. And that's it. The final score, Oakland 43, New York 32.
Kansas City still remains 1/2 game ahead of Oakland and San Diego by virtue of the fact they've played one more game. But the Chiefs are idle this week, and while Oakland should have little trouble with Cincinnati, San Diego will be anything but idle as they entertain the Jets. New York has beaten them once already this season, and the Jets would certainly like to clinch the Eastern Division crown as well as avenge their sudden electrocution by Oakland. I'm Charlie Jones.
Thank you.